I'm Naomi Shihab Nye. Valentine for Ernest Mann. You can't order a poem like you order a taco. Walk up to the counter, say, "I'll take two," and expect it to be handed back to you on a shiny plate. Still, I like your spirit. Anyone who says, "Here's my address, write me a poem," deserves something in reply. So I'll tell a secret instead. Poems hide. In the bottoms of our shoes, they are sleeping. They are the shadows drifting across our ceilings the moment before we wake up. What we have to do is live in a way that lets us find them. Once I knew a man who gave his wife 2 skunks for a Valentine. He couldn't understand why she was crying. I thought they had such beautiful eyes. He was a serious man who lived in a serious way. Nothing was ugly just because the world said so. He really liked those skunks. So he reinvented them as Valentines, and they became beautiful, at least to him. And the poems that had been hiding in the eyes of skunks for centuries crawled out and curled up at his feet. Maybe if we reinvent whatever our lives give us, we find poems. Check your garage, the odd sock in your drawer, the person you almost like, but not quite. And let me know. I wrote this poem for a boy whose real name was Ernest Mann, which is a pretty great name when you think about it. I didn't know him. He was in 8th grade, very tall, walked up to me between classes. I didn't recognize him from any of the classes. And he said what it says in the poem, "Here's my address, write me a poem." It was a little startling, and it was Valentine's Day. So I took his address and I just stared at him and I said, I'll do my best. And I walked off, and the more I thought about it, if somebody asks you for something on Valentine's Day that you could really deliver, I think you should do it. So I went home that day and sat down and thought, what would I write to this guy? And I started with that kind of direct response to his request. You can't order a poem like you order a taco. And then into my mind came this story I had just heard the previous weekend from 2 beloved friends of mine in South Texas. And they were telling the story at a dinner table, and the woman was still very emotional and upset about these skunks. I think she was worried about what he was going to give her this year. And he was looking hurt and saying what he said about, "I thought they had such beautiful eyes." That was a direct quote from the man. So I thought, that seems like a little poem in a way to me. So I wove it in. I took these threads of things that didn't really go together. Ernest Mann never saw those people. They never saw him. But somehow remembering their skunks story helped me think about what I love regarding poetry. And the end of this poem, surprisingly, has helped me over the years. I mean, you write something and you give it away, and then it keeps giving itself back to you. Even the phrase, "the person you almost like, but not quite." Sometimes when I'm having trouble or conflict with the person, I think, well, probably I could like you. I just need to give this a little more time. We need to share more. So poems go 2 ways when we write them. Sometimes they go out. And by the way, I mailed this to Ernest and in the mail, and never heard from him again, but I felt as if I did.